Since I lost my job, it's now 10th of October, last working day was 30th of July. I haven't really been able to sort of gauge what it's really like losing my job. Because I got injured at the tribunal, I've been extra sick. I was bedridden, literally asleep for a week. So it's not been a great example of what life will be like. Yeah, so I don't feel like I've really been able to adjust to life without full-time employment. Come on, up. And it did mess with my head that I couldn't sit at my computer, which I've written about. So if you get the newsletter, I'll put a link to the newsletter where I sort of harp on about it a little bit because I was feeling sorry for myself. So I haven't lost any weight because I was comfy eating. You know, when you're bedridden and things like that, it's very difficult to get the sort of happiness. But eating, you can do well when you're awake. Money is crippling at the moment. And I don't want anyone that knows me, that actually knows me, that's watching this, I'm all right, okay? We live in the UK, we're really fortunate, the government will make sure we have enough money for basic food, roof and heat, okay? So that's all I need, and my meds, obviously. So I'm still not getting ESA. They replied once and said I'm not entitled to it, and I was like, but I think that was my fault because I put the date to apply from as my last date of work, which was payday. So they checked my account and went, you've got money. And I was like, just sorry, I've never applied for it before. So I was like, do I have to do it a month afterwards? And I haven't heard from them. So that's what, August, September, we're October, nearly 3 months. So I'm not getting ESA, which I think is like £250 a month. We're not getting the rent covered because I'm still living in the property, because of the issues with all the planning permission that I was given the wrong information. Funnily enough, the company that I brought Gertie from, they didn't ask me to give feedback on Trustpilot, which is not exactly surprising. So they gave me the wrong information, so I couldn't move into it. So I had to cancel my mum's housing benefit because we're still living in the property, and because I own the property, if I'm in there, she can't get housing benefit. So I budgeted 3 months of money for that, because it takes a while to get housing benefit to kick in, for me to cover the rent, etc. Well, it's been 3 months and we still can't apply for it because we don't know my moving out date. Next month we're going to start eating into the money that I budgeted for the toilet, because it's a posh combustible toilet, you don't need water for it, it's majorly environmentally friendly. It's £4,000. So at the rate I'm going, I won't be having a toilet, which is not going to work. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. Hopefully save some money elsewhere. I don't know. And I'm still spending too much. I'm going to do a separate vlog on that. I'm just going to be transparent and show you everything to do with finances, so you can see cost of living. And then hopefully when I do move into Gertie, I'll be able to afford to live, and maybe if I want to, buy myself a cheesecake. That's the dream. Today I've launched my consultancy thingy. I'll show you this thing. So you see, it's Charlie's Disabled Not Dead, that's my thing, and people can book these. So if they want to do a one-to-one meeting, so I've set it up so it gives dates where they can book me and watch this video before booking, and that my body does shut down. Also, when you go through the booking process, there's questions. So I'm trying to do it where I don't want people to have to spend money on this. They shouldn't have to. So I want them to get as much as they can from YouTube for free. This is what I'm offering at the moment. The one-to-one meeting for whatever they need, checking a review form, checking their appeal, their mandatory reconsideration, checking the PIP claim, checking the tribunal submission, or full support. So that full support is they can only pay for an hour meeting, because in that hour meeting, we need to assess whether I believe, could be wrong, but I have to believe that they are entitled to PIP. If they're not, then there's no point in booking the other 14 hours, because it just won't work. I'm not going to take someone's money if I don't believe they're entitled to PIP. And I don't want to do many of that. Like, so that's what that hour meeting is for. If we then agree to move ahead together, then they will pay the rest of the money for me to do that. Honestly, I don't want to do many of those, because the way I'm looking at it now is I can spend 15 hours helping one person, and for that I'm going to be charging £1,200 because it's hard work. It's really hard work. But I don't want someone to have to pay that, and I would rather, don't get me wrong, I know I'm going to help people, and I know there will be people that I'll do that for free, because I always want to be able to do that. I always want to be able to help people that truly cannot afford it for free. I'd like to be in a position where I'm earning enough money from YouTube sponsorship that I can just do things for free. But here's my thought process. If I do 15 hours helping one person, in that 15 hours I could create, you see that cat? It's not mine. Sleeps here every night, it's not my cat. What was I saying? In that 15 hours, I could spend that time creating a guide that could help thousands of people. And I want to be able to do that, but I also don't want to have to claim benefits. Hence why, I'm looking at charging for this. I feel guilty about it. I feel guilty charging. And I know that I'm being a bit of a dick about it because, it's the financial outcome for people is absolutely worth what I'm charging. But I just feel guilty because I feel like most people claiming PIP are in a situation where you're skint. But it's a service. I get it. So I've done it. So I've got some teething issues, but I'm very excited about it. This is big sort of new step in my new career, really. But I don't think that people that suffer from chronic illness should have to pay to be able to get funding that is available from the government. So over the next 10 years, I want to manage myself out. People offering the service that I do, or companies, or PIP themselves offering this service, we shouldn't have to exist. So, and I think it will take 10 years before the government catches up and changes and we shout about it online. But in 10 years' time, this role shouldn't even need to exist. Having to support people in order to communicate as per the government's process. That's my goal. So with regards to the planning permission, I should get confirmation by the 24th of November. I've got planning permission. I'm so happy. So happy. Huge relief. Brilliant for my mum. Obviously, if I'd been given the right information from the specialists, I would have had that sorted before I even looked at doing the build. But the problem is now, everything's on hold. I can't move into it because I've got an issue with the electrics. The electricians came around to give me a quote. Turns out the mains that I've got connected to the bungalow is like 100 volt, but the cable I've got is smaller, which isn't safe. And turns out I've got no earth wires. And I'm like, I know I don't know much about electrics, but I'm thinking that's an important one. It's the one that stops you from getting electrocuted and fires and things. So the electricians will not touch anything until British Gas, my provider, come out and make it safe. They have to put an isolator in, they've got to check the mains, tails, I don't know what those. British Gas, it's the 14th of November now. The first appointment that there is 8th of January. And I'm like, no. I know I've lived in the property like this without issue, but now I know about it, it's not safe. And if my body shuts down, I'm out of it. I'm not going to respond to an emergency if I'm even alert enough to understand there's an emergency in a normal manner. I'm not safe. So I've logged a complaint today to say, please help me. Also, I can't afford to go another 3 months paying mortgage and all the bills, and I just can't afford it. But my plea with British Gas is safety. Obviously, it's not their fault. I lost my job due to ill health. Is about safety. Although I did mention that because I'm like, please help me. I was begging. There's no question about it. So more of an update to follow on this one. So Ollie is becoming a teenager. You know they're listening to you. You know they understand, but they just don't do it. She first time, she absolutely, totally and utterly ignored me this morning. We have this command when we go for a walk. She likes to sniff rabbit trails and everything. So I've got this command where I'll say, Ollie, sight. and she'll come back into my sight. It can be 100 yards in front of me, whatever. She comes back into sight and she turns her head to the side so I can see if she's got the ball in her mouth. Well, this morning I was like, Ollie's sight. And sometimes it takes her a bit to get back into sight because she's under the shrubs and she has to get out under the brambles and everything. Well, so she came, so I called her a couple of times, she came out, and then I just watched her arse as she trotted away from me. She didn't even look at me. So I was like, am I saying it loudly? My jaw joint's bad. I said it again, just blatantly ignored me. And she started charging, poor little Matilda, she started charging up to her, and then Matilda's like, whoa, like, Matilda's a bit mature now, aren't you? And Ollie charges up to her, makes a snap, and now she's doing it to other dogs. And I've apologised and said, look, I'm so sorry. All the owners have been absolutely lovely about it, and I'm like, look, she's becoming a teenager, I'm going to work on it, I'm very, very sorry. So that's fun. And I think obviously her teen's going to get much worse. I don't feel like she's looking at me going, whatever. Like, we're not quite at that point at the teenage phase yet, but I don't think we're far off it. My mobility, due to the injury at the tribunal, which was weeks ago now, I'm at 50% of what I was pre-tribunal. So I was doing like 5,500 steps a day nearly. I was doing a couple of 6,000s. I was about to bump to 6,000. Now I'm doing 2,000. Yesterday I did, I think, 1,500. So it's massively, those fire doors, that injury massively impacted me. I don't know, now I'm sort of thinking, should I have filled out an accident form at the courts? Because it's been so bad, but it's not actually an accident, it's an aggravated medical condition, isn't it? So, yeah. So I'm gutted about that, but I'm just happy that I'm starting to get better, because that was really difficult for me when I couldn't sit at my desk. That really affects my mental health. I'm on the mend, which is really good. I just need to not overdo it on the days I feel good. So in summary, although it's not going to plan, we're okay. We're okay, and things are moving forward. Oh, I forgot to say about the YouTube and the newsletter. YouTube's now got over 100 subscribers, so that's fantastic, because getting 100 subscribers is one of the hardest things to do. Then getting to 1,000 subscribers is really difficult. So I've got to the 100, which I'm really happy about. The PIP vlogs have been really helpful. Even though they're going really well, the channel isn't just PIP. It's about living with chronic illness in a positive manner. I now have 557 subscribers. It's going up massively. It's growing so much. It's absolutely amazing. And I've met some amazing people. Some amazing people. I didn't understand with the growth quite how much communication there would be with people. And I think because of what we're talking about, because it's chronic illness, it's so nice to be able to talk to people about it. It's so nice. I think it's a relief for both me and the people commenting that someone actually gets how you feel. So it's amazing, but obviously that takes time, and I prioritise that above everything else. So I do need to get my priorities straight, because Ollie's training is definitely slowed down. So yeah, I've got to get my priorities straight on that. But it's amazing. So now I've got communication with people via the Disabled Not Dead email, by the YouTube comments. It's just very different to what I thought, but amazing. So that's going really well. Yeah, it's a lot going on. So hopefully next update we'll have got a lot more things boxed off, and my plans of living in here will have worked. Fingers crossed. Speak to you soon.